Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's the Breakfast in Africa show, as usual, with the host, Jingo Kalule. Yes, many things have been happening in our country, in Uganda, in the world, all over the globe. And this time round, we're coming up with something else. And I believe everyone watching TV Africa will have to learn. Today, I brought some different person, a researcher, and he's going to talk about, he's going to tell us about what is happening in China. We're moving today to China. And, China's been a big country in the trade. Trade has been really carried out at a high speed. And
also
China
in technology.
Technology.
Also in technology.
Okay,
Nowadays.
also in technology. And today I have someone from US, UK, Ugandan. I don't know. He will have to introduce himself. You're welcome, sir.
I'm Mbogo. I'm also an employee here at TV Africa. I'm an editor, and I do some producing as well. But I'm also very interested in the issues concerning Africa, also the world. This coronavirus issue with China is also an issue we're going to talk about today. And we'll probably look at some other subjects as well.
Yes. Now, you see, we've been looking at China and seeing China growing so fast in its development, infrastructure, and all that, and realize that China has managed to capture the trade of African countries. I mean, it has tried all products of China. Most of them have been sold in African countries, trying to send off those commodities that coming from US, UK, and all that.
I think they can undercut the US in terms of their prices, because their manufacturing costs are much less than the US, even other Western countries. The fact that even Western countries themselves have moved their manufacturing to China, because it's
really?
Yes, it's cheaper to manufacture in China and then import back to the US.
So the US again take things to China, then manufacture them, then bring them,
then send them back to the US.
Because it is cheaper.
It is cheaper to manufacture, yes.
Oh.
One of the things is labor. Labor in China is very cheap compared to US. That's why you find a lot of US workers have complained that their jobs are going to China. There are cities in the US where you see there's a lot of high unemployment because there are no more manufacturing jobs.
But right there, their commodities are not durable. China commodities.
No, if it's, for example, a US company and it moves its production to China, the standard is still going to be the same. Yes, there are cheap Chinese companies manufacturing things like the fake mobile phones and whatever, but they also manufacture genuine.
Why do you call them fake?
I say fake because they can copy.
Yes.
They can copy genuine manufacturers' models and they put cheaper components, so the phone itself may not work for as long as the genuine component or model.
So because of their prices that are low, that's why they have managed to capture the market of Africa.
Of course, when somebody wants something, they want something that works okay. They also look for the cheapest.
The cheapest.
Of the item that's... Because China does have a history from probably the 70s or 80s for making cheap commodities that are poor quality commodities. But I think over the years...
They have improved their quality.
Their qualities has improved quite a lot.
Yeah, but we also look at the infrastructure that China has tried to be able to invest in African countries, as in give them money, to make the roads, to make the dams.
Yes, I think that they're very much, not just in Africa, but Africa is one of the main places that they're investing in.
They are focused in Africa.
On things like the infrastructure, because they want to build this one belt, one road around the world, ways to maybe transport goods simpler in a quicker way. Whether by sea, whether by the railway, they want to. I think they've started constructing.
So they're not helping Africans; they're helping themselves in transportation of goods. You look at
and resources.
And resources. Actually,
it will be easier if this one belt, one road structure is set up. It will be easier to extract resources and send them back to their own country.
So they are here to extract resources.
Of course, they're here to extract. They're operating in Congo and other places where you hear stories of them bringing, in fact, their own workers to come and work, not the Congolese workers. They use their own workers to come and mine and then extract the goods back to their own country.
don't you think this has also affected the US, the European world, the US, the UK?
I can see in terms of manufacturing. That's why you see people like Trump now. Trump wants to make America great again by bringing the manufacturing back to America. And that's why
Which is not a simple thing.
It's not a simple thing. That's why he's now putting tariffs on Chinese goods. So that the American companies that are manufacturing in China, they now come back to the US because it's to become cheaper to manufacture in their own country than the manufacturing in China. Because he supposedly wants to make America great again.
Trying to make America greater. So when you look at that loophole, the rival of China and America, you see, because mainly America looks at Africa, where they have to sell their products, where they have to make different things, and you know, resource.
They want to build. In fact, they want the resources, but they don't want to assist and build the infrastructure within Africa. Because they also set conditions. If they give you a loan, there are conditions there.
But even China also has a lot of conditions in it.
Not as much as America. That's why African countries tend to prefer China when it comes to borrowing money. Or for China, when it comes to external investment in projects in Africa, they prefer China because there's less.
So China investing in Africa has affected the US?
Of course it will affect the US. Not as much as people think, but it does affect the US. The US, I think recently they're talking about trying to invest more in Africa, trying to push. I think there was the Secretary of State or someone went to certain West African countries recently. They're trying to, countries where China has been, they're trying to go in and now bring those countries back to the US.
You know, to sense when you look at that, be it China, be it America, be it US, there's no way these people are beneficiary. They are benefiting Africans. They are here to extract.
Yes,
that's what we have to focus with.
Yes. China seems to be a bit better in terms of investing more and helping to build certain infrastructure.
China is better. China
but seems to
try to take
but they also have their own interest, obviously.
It is the same.
But the methods are different, slightly different. One invests without conditions that you have to give up certain. For example,
so you prefer China than US?
Do I prefer China to US? Somebody can say yes because China will give you almost free money without conditions, whereas the US will give you a loan.
No, China has conditions.
But they don't have conditions.
You have seen China taking ports over.
Okay, yes,
they have conditions.
In fact, they do. But the US's conditions in terms of human rights and how countries are supposed to behave in treating certain groups. China, yes, you're correct. The condition is that they give you a loan. If you don't pay back the loan, they'll take something.
Yeah.
That's true.
They take it. Let's have a little break, then we can come back. We're still discussing about China and Africa. Let's have a break. Welcome back. You're still watching TV Africa, The Right to Know, and it's Breakfast in Africa. Really, the show that everyone is watching right now. And I'm here with, you see, you know, I tend to...
Brother Mbogo.
Brother Mbogo, really? From the US, from the UK, but it's Jingo Brian, Jingo Kale, the host. And we're still discussing about China. And here comes the virus. The coronavirus that is affecting China. We have looked at China as in trade, rivaling with the UK, US, about Africa. And now we look at the coronavirus coming in. This virus that has been existing before, but not this virus now that is existing, that is really harassing people, which is the coronavirus, which is COVID-19. Now that is on board, that is killing people. Though other viruses have been existing, like seven of them that have been existing, and it has been said this virus has been existing. It has been existing in snakes, then to bats, And they don't know whether the bats are the one now that push them into the human race that we are going to talk about right now. Mr. Mbogo, the coronavirus has come in China.
Well,
people are saying, I've heard people saying that it may be that the UK, the US, is the one that has engineered the virus to affect the Chinese, because they have been having issues, a lot of issues in the trade and all that. What would you say about that?
That's one story. I haven't heard that much about that particular story myself. The story I've heard is that it's the Chinese government that has invented this virus. Oh. Because if you look at where the virus began, in the Wuhan district.
Yes, the Wuhan.
The Wuhan district is also the place where the Chinese have their microbiology laboratories. That's where they deal with viruses in that place. And it happens to be the place where the outbreak began, and that's where the largest part of the outbreak began.
Because it has 11 million people?
Something like
yes.
that. So there's a suspicion that something escaped, some type of virus may have escaped into the community there.
Oh, because that's where they engineer such things
viruses,
from.
Yes. So that's one story.
Which may be right also.
Which may be right. The US one may also be right.
Because you ask yourself, why is it that it is in Wuhan where they engineer
these viruses, yes.
Yes.
Why did it start from there? Why did the outbreak begin there? But then the US story can also be true, because we can never trust the US. They have their intentions to try and disorganize China, the way Trump is.
Because when you talk about the engineering and the Wuhan, where the microbiology, where they engineer all these viruses from, and it is said that it is found in the market. There's a market that is in Wuhan, where they found that everyone who went to that market in those days was found infected.
So they're trying to say that there's certain animals in that market,
yes,
where people could have caught the virus from. That's one of the usual. If you look at the AIDS virus, they also say the AIDS virus originated in the green monkey in Congo.
Yes.
But remember, the AIDS virus was more prevalent in Uganda than Congo. It's supposed to have started in Congo, but why was it more prevalent in a place where people don't eat monkeys? So you have a suspicion there now. Did it really come from a monkey? If people in another country where they don't eat monkeys,
yes,
it is spread more. So you can't question the people's ideas of its origin. Looking at the basic facts, really, will tell you that something's wrong there.
Because there's a lot about that coronavirus. Why? Because when you look at where it is, because when you look at where it is found, the people there, what is done there. And then you look at then the U.S., because the U.S. obviously you don't trust, as you say, you can't just trust the U.S.
Also about the coronavirus, it spreads much more easily than the previous SARS or the MERS. They're saying that it has a mutation which is very similar to the HIV mutation, which allows it to connect to human cells much more easily. So I say it's almost 1,000 times more easier to catch than MERS or SARS was. So was somebody playing with something there to create something that could spread much more quickly than the two previous coronaviruses?
But if then it is engineered, as being said, why?
Why China? Because it is, in fact, out of the 83,000 cases, cases of infection, 78,000 is in China. So the greater majority is in China. There's only something like 5,000 outside of China.
And which China has been growing rapidly.
And out of the 82,000, there's only something like 2,000 or 3,000 people have died. So the percentage of people that have died is very small. It's only something like 10% compared to the two previous viruses, MERS and SARS, which were...
So what you want to mean is that this virus, the previous viruses are dangerous than
this current
COVID-19?
They're more dangerous, but they don't spread as quickly. They spread.
So what makes a virus dangerous? It's death.
It's death, yes, but if you look at the number of people, percentage of people that have died from this current coronavirus, out of the people that are infected, you find that it's very small, something like 3.7%, compared to, was it 10% of the SARS and of MERS, it was 34, almost 35%. So there's a big difference in the amount of people killed according to the percentage of the people that are affected. But this one spreads much more quickly and much easier. That's affected much more people.
It spreads much more easier and much more quickly. And it causes death faster?
No, at a lesser rate.
At a lesser rate.
But it infects more people.
So why is it that people are so afraid of it? Yet
I think people are afraid of it because
you have that analysis.
People are afraid of it because it spreads much more quickly.
Much more quickly.
Because people are normally afraid of things that are spreading quickly. That fear comes in with it. And people are dying from it, even though it's only 3.7%. There's still a worry that you can die from it.
So that's the reason as to why they're afraid, because they think it spreads so fast.
Plus, you know, when the media gets hold of a story like that, people start to worry. They say something that's spreading very quickly. When in reality, it's the majority that are affected are in China.
It spreads so quickly, but the death rates are lower than the ones of the previous.
Yes, the previous two.
What are those previous two?
That is MERS. MERS is Middle East Respiratory Syndrome. That was between 2012 to 2015 and the latest 2018. The first was SARS. That was in 2003. That is Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome. That was 2003. I remember SARS. I remember even MERS, but they don't seem to be as serious as this one in terms of
this one.
In
the spraying. Yet the death rate of MERS and the other one
was much higher.
Was higher
than this one, this current one.
So the other ones were killing faster than this one.
Though they were not affecting as much people.
Okay. So so you don't concur with the allegation of saying that the U.S. may be part of this.
I can't say that I don't concur. There's a possibility there. I've not seen that as of yet, but the possibility is there. When you talk about something mutating similar to AIDS, then you have to become suspicious.
How do you look at such a disease, a virus spreading in Africa? What do you say about that?
Well, at the moment, there's only 3 confirmed cases in Africa. There's one in Nigeria, and it wasn't the African, it was Italian. There's one in Algeria, and there's one in Egypt. None of them so far are black Africans. So far in sub-Saharan Africa, there's no real cases where you can say that a black African has been affected. It's only an Italian, a white Italian that has been affected so far. So there's a possibility, I was reading something, that there's a possibility that there's differences according to the way people react to certain diseases. So there could be a genetic difference in the way the African reacts, which may be a reason. It's not definite, but that possibility is there, that the African may react differently to such diseases than others. That's why.
The Africans may be...
There's only one. I remember there's one in China where an African was affected, but they're now cured. They had the disease, but they're now fully recovered. That's the only case. And that's not on the continent. That is in China. And they're fully recovered.
Okay. But how could we prevent such a...
That is difficult now.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. Something that spreads similar to AIDS is spread. If you're in the same room as somebody, you can catch. It's like catching a flu from somebody. Just their breath, the moisture from someone's breath as you talk. That's why they say you're supposed to wear a mask. But I'm also hearing that the mask is not that preventative.
Yeah, you're still watching TV Africa, The Right to Know, and the program is Breakfast in Africa. We're talking about the coronavirus. Let's have a little break, then we can come back. You're still watching TV Africa, The Right to Know, Aunties Jingo Kale on the microphone, trying to sensitize you about the coronavirus. Yes, I've got some information that the president was talking about. President of Uganda was talking about the coronavirus, and he said, with the churches they should not shake hands. And,
yes, I've seen something about it.
And I also read about something saying that all those who are dying with the coronavirus things already have problems with their health.
That's also another argument about the coronavirus. People that have been dying from it are usually the elderly. People who have previous illnesses or illnesses that are there.
What do you mean by that? Previous illnesses? And
if you have a certain illness that maybe is affecting your immune system currently, and you get this coronavirus, then it's more likely to kill you than if your health is okay and then you contract this coronavirus. And then if those elderly, those over maybe 65 and above, where you're getting older now and your immune system is also getting weaker, those are the people more likely to die from the coronavirus.
Then this then is confusing. If you talk about the coronavirus being killing people in China and say it to be coming from animals, the other one, the first coronaviruses were from animals.
That's what they're saying.
Yes. Then this one, they are saying it is from bats and snakes, something of that kind. That's where they found it.
Pangolin animal.
Yes. Like and now you're talking about the immune system. If you're not having a good immune system, that means the coronavirus may affect you very rapidly.
It's more likely to kill you.
More likely. And all those who are dying are because they have problems with the immune system.
And their health was already bad
So
before.
what you're saying that if you have the right, your immune system is really fine, you cannot be affected by the coronavirus?
No, you can get it, but you're less likely to die. You're probably also less likely to be that much affected by it if your health is good and you're living a good life.
You see, this engineering thing is really eating me up. When you look at the genetically modified organism and food and all that, we are engineered, and then we look at the coronavirus being engineered. I really add this up and think the target is for Africa somehow.
Well, if it's for Africa, then it's not doing very well, because GMOs are here to a certain degree. This coronavirus doesn't seem to have affected Africa as of yet.
As of yet, but when it comes in, then it is going to be very bad.
Well, if it comes
very severe, because when you look at Africa and their setting, except because our immune system is easily boosted, but because of the engineering, the food engineering, then our immune system is down. It's not the way it was, because we're taking GMOs and all that. So if you're taking GMOs, you don't expect your immune system to be that good. So if it comes down here in Africa, that means it is going to affect us.
Well, if you look at Nigeria, you can say it's already there, since one foreigner has contracted it. If we maybe monitor what's happening in Nigeria and see if anybody else is being affected from this one person, then maybe we can get a good idea of how well it will affect Africa.
Then we can get a good idea about how it will affect Africa.
But as of yet, people are a bit surprised from what I've been reading. They're a bit surprised that it hasn't affected Africa as much as other countries.
Do you think Uganda is prepared to fight this dangerous disease?
Well, is it 100 Chinese have been, they've been quarantined so far?
Yes, there is a quarantine in Entebbe. There's a big hospital there. They have organized this, and they have told me they have more than 14 already there, but not yet confirmed. Yes, because they leave you there for 14 days, then they can confirm that you are affected. You see, so they have not yet got any, but they are there. They are that they are trying to,
So there are some preparations here.
Preparations are there, but some people say, no, Uganda, why Uganda can't get prepared for this rightly. They feel they are not comfortable.
Well, at the moment, people can't worry that much. You can make preparations, but I don't think you should worry that much. If you had started hearing that there are definite cases here.
Yes, but we don't have any cases. That means we are ready to fight this.
And some people coming in have already been quarantined. People coming from China have already been quarantined.
Yes.
So there are some preparations going on.
So all those who come from China are quarantined and studied for 14 days in Entebbe. Yes, I think we are well equipped for that, for such a thing.
Yeah, at the moment it seems there's no panic at the moment. There shouldn't be any panic, really. Unless you start to hear that the cases are there, or you find cases outside of the quarantine area, then you can start to work.
What advice would you give Ugandans watching TV Africa about this epidemic coronavirus?
There's no, well, just be aware of people around you. People who may be starting to have you don't want people to panic. You can't say that you see somebody with the flu or those symptoms, you start panicking and worry that they have this coronavirus. It's very difficult to advise people at the moment because you don't want to cause some kind of...
You said what are the symptoms of a coronavirus?
It's cough, fever, similar to flu. Cough and fever is two of the main things.
So whenever you see someone with flu, you have to just
even with a
distance
cough,
yourself.
You can start to worry. That's why I said you don't want to start advising people because
you have been watching TV Africa, and the program is Breakfast in Africa. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.